Watch this. On April 27th, Tesla looked like it was falling apart, sellers hitting every bid, one red candle after another. But it stopped dead at one exact line, this zone right here, and refused to go lower. Then, just 11 trading days later, it was almost $90 higher. That line was not luck, and it was not guesswork, it was Fibonacci, and by the end of this video you will draw that exact line yourself in about 5 seconds. Let me show you how. So how do you actually draw that line? It is dead simple. Step 1, you find the one clean push that made the move. Traders call it the impulse leg. On Tesla, that is the shove from the bottom near 337 up to the top near 409. You grab the fib tool and you anchor it from the swing low to the swing high. You literally click the bottom of the move and drag to the top. That one click is the entire setup. The instant you do, the tool paints 4 retracement levels back down across the move at 38.250, 61.8, and 78.6%. Each one measures how far price has retraced, how far back down the move a pullback has come. Now, why those exact percentages? This is the part nobody explains. They come straight from the Fibonacci sequence, that famous run of numbers where each one is just the sum of the two before it 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, and on forever. Here is the magic. Divide any number in that run by the one right after it, 13 divided by 21, and you always land on the same value, 0.618. That is called the golden ratio, and it shows up everywhere in nature. And that 0.618 is exactly your 61.8% line. That is where the name golden comes from. So here is the whole thing in one picture. The golden pocket is simply the narrow band between the 50% line, the exact halfway point of the move, and that golden 61.8 line. Half to 62% back, no more. And that band is the sweet spot for one reason: it is deep enough that you are buying a real discount, but shallow enough that the trend is still alive. A healthy pullback dips into this band and no further. It is the trend taking a breath, not the trend dying. So watch Tesla do it. Price runs up in the impulse, then pulls back, drifting lower day after day, until the dip lands right in it, dead inside the golden pocket, and stops. That is no accident. That band is exactly where the patient money waits to buy the discount, and now you know how to draw it yourself. Our fib is already drawn, and the golden pocket is locked in, that shaded band between 365 and 373. So now comes the single hardest part of this whole strategy. We do nothing. We do not chase price at the top. We sit on our hands and let it come down to our pocket. So watch Tesla. It tops out near 409, rolls over, and pulls back day after day, sliding lower and lower, drifting straight down toward our shaded zone. Still no buying, still just waiting. And then, right here on April 27th, the magic happens. Price tags the pocket. Now look closely at this one candle, because it tells the entire story. It wicks all the way down to $364, kissing that 61.8 line almost to the penny, and then it violently slams back up to close green near 379. That long lower wick is the footprint of big buyers stepping in and defending the pocket, rejecting every cheaper price. That rejection candle is our green light, so the very next morning we buy. Our entry is $376, stepping in right where the smart money just showed its hand. No chasing, no guessing. We simply let the pocket bring the trade to us. Now let us write the full plan and watch it pay off. Alright, we have our trigger. Now it is time to actually trade it. We are using the same fib and the same Tesla chart, but this time we follow the entire plan from entry to exit, and watch how it pays off. The golden rule of trading is this: you decide every number before you ever risk a single cent. Remember, our signal came from the pocket entry, that rejection candle defending the zone. So the pocket, that shaded band where we bought, gives us our first and most important number. Let us write the plan with our 3 numbers now, clearly, so there is zero guessing once we are live. Number 1, the entry. We buy at $376, right at the pocket, right where the big buyers stepped in and showed their hand. That is the teal mark on your screen. Number 2, the stop loss, our safety net. It sits just below the 78.6 line, down at $351. So the most we can lose is the small distance from 376 down to 351. That is our risk, small, fixed, and known in advance. And number 3, the profit targets, which come from the extensions, the levels the tool already projected for us above the old high. With the plan fully written, we now do the hardest thing in trading: nothing. We just let it run, and run it does. Tesla bounces cleanly out of the pocket exactly as planned, powers back through that old 409 high, and just keeps climbing. And then, right here on May 13th, price tags the extension. It kisses the 1.618 extension up near $454, and that hits our target perfectly. So count the reward against the risk. We made roughly 3 times the small amount we put on the line. That is a clean 3R winner. Textbook trade 3 times the risk and profit. And now here is the absolute bonus, the part professionals quietly count on. Look at the right edge of the chart. What happened after we took our money and walked away? The very second Tesla reached that extension target, the move ran out of gas and rolled over hard. That is the whole lesson in one picture. That is precisely why extensions are exit zones, not entry zones. So think about what this one tool did for us. Fibonacci did not only tell us where to buy at the bottom of the dip, it told us exactly where to sell at the top, right before everyone chasing that breakout got trapped at the highs and rode it all the way back down. Let me show you why this one tool is worth real money. Same Tesla pullback, same chart, but now watch two very different traders trade it. First up is Fiona, the patient one, and I am going to draw her entire trade right here on the chart, every single decision. Fiona does the routine we just learned. She marks the golden pocket, that shaded band, and then she does the hardest thing in all of trading. She waits. She lets price come all the way down to her zone instead of chasing it higher. And the moment Tesla tags the pocket, she buys. Her entry is $376, the teal line right here, dead in the discount zone where the big buyers just stepped in and defended the price. Then, instantly, she protects it. Her stop goes just below the 78.6 line, down at $351. Look at the red box. That is her entire risk, tiny and fixed, decided before she ever clicks buy. Now for her target, she aims for the 1.618 extension, way up at $454. And here is the whole game. Look at the green box against the red box. The reward is 3 times the size of the risk. It is a 3-to-1 trade before she even gets in. And then she simply holds. Tesla bounces clean out of the pocket, powers back through the old high, and runs straight into her target. She sells at $454 for a clean, calm, fully planned 3R winner. That is the patient trader's reward, and every number was drawn on the chart before she risked a cent. Now meet the other guy, Chase. Chase has no tool, no patience, and no plan. All he has is the fear of missing out. And I am going to draw his trade on the exact same chart right next to Fiona's. Chase watches Tesla ripping to brand new highs, and he cannot stand sitting on the sidelines. So he buys the breakout right at the very top, $409, that teal line up here. It is the single worst price on the whole chart. And he has no real stop, just hope. So when the pullback shows up, the exact same pullback Fiona was patiently waiting for, he just holds and prays it comes back. But price slides lower day after day deeper into the red. You can watch his loss growing inside that red box. And finally, right near the bottom around $366 he cracks. He panic sells, dumping his shares in fear at almost the exact price where Fiona is calmly buying. And then comes the cruelest part of all. The very second he sells, Tesla turns and rips straight up to the 1.618 extension at $454, the exact move he was waiting for, now running without him. He bought the high and sold the low. So that is the difference, drawn on one chart. Same candles, same setup. The golden pocket pays the patient trader and it punishes the one who chases. Be Fiona, never be Chase. So that is Fibonacci, stripped of all the mystery. It is just a ruler for pullbacks, and it hands you a whole trade in one click. Draw it low to high on one clean impulse. Buy the golden pocket between the 50 and 61.8. Put your stop just below the 78.6. And take your profit at the extensions, where the move runs out of gas. Do this on your very next pullback. Instead of guessing how deep the dip goes, measure it. Let price come to your pocket, and let the impatient traders chase. If this made Fibonacci finally click, subscribe, because we build one new trading skill from the ground up every single week. See you in the next one.